Good evening. We're live again for another Blended Tech Learning Office Hours. Hi, I'm Nick Finelli and here to help you guys out today, so please feel free anytime to write comments, ask questions. I do have a few questions, of course, that are asked from earlier the week that I want to touch on, but we have some time tonight. We're a little light on our schedule. We'll have some of your questions to be able to answer, and hopefully we'll be able to learn some new stuff today and move on. So what I want to show you first is just remember to share these videos. They're on the YouTube channel. They are also going to be on Facebook Live, and then I also tweet them out and post them on Google Plus page. And of course you can go to blendedtechlearning.com, and when you're there you can go to the video library. It'll show you all of our videos. I do have some more exciting news. I know last week I told you about being able to have some more courses, so I started posting some of them up there, although not all of them are posted, but the new courses will be running for our summer series. So it's a collection of 1 hour different courses, or different, I call them learn shops because they're not really a whole course, but it's meant to help teachers just get a better idea of how to use that particular product, or how to do something, with their students in small bite-sized areas. So today, one of the first questions was, a teacher asked, they see when I present, or other people, like, how did they get that different header on their Google Classroom, or how did they get that different header on a Google Form? I always end up using just the base one that's purple, or they add a scene and they're like, oh, those are all the same ones. So let's go into that. So let me transition over to my desktop here, and so I'm going to go into Google Forms. And of course, you see the normal patterns and things like that, and the template gallery. Of course, you're going to see different ones, but we want to be able to customize this. So this top part, this little banner here, is not colored. It's basically what we want our own to do. So let's just do a blank quiz. It doesn't really matter as long as you're in a particular area. Now you're going to go up to the top right, and in the top right corner you have your little color palette. And when you click on the color palette icon, this is where, of course, you can change the colors. But if you go to the bottom right corner, you'll see a picture icon. Go ahead and click on that. Now this is where you'll find different ones in here. You'll even see some animated ones, especially like in the other category. You'll see things moving, like the butterfly here. So notice it's a GIF, so it's a GIF file, which means basically it's an image with a bunch of images, and it's done in a kind of in a stop motion way, and so those animated GIFs are able to be also used as your background. If that's something that you're interested in, please write me and tell me. I can actually that's a great idea. You know what, I'm going to post a video on how to do that, because it's a little more time as far as creating these, but well worth it, especially if you want something animated in the background. And so if you go to the bottom of your select a theme, and you can choose from your albums, or you can upload a photo. So let's say I had a photo from somewhere on my computer I could grab and put it on there, but let's say I don't. Let's say I don't have a picture, because really what you're trying to do is get the exact pixel size. So on Google Forms, you're looking for an 800, so 800 wide by 200 pixels. And so if those pictures aren't there, then if you don't have it that size, it's going to try to make it into that, but it at least has to be that big. So let's pretend I don't have anything like that. So first thing I might do is I might search the internet, and during my searches, let's search Black Panther movie, see if there's any nice little pictures or images on there. So of course there's the movie. I'll go to the images. All right, but I want to be able to see the sizes. So I'm going to click on Tools and then More Tools and Show Sizes. And so that way I can see right away if it's going to fit. Like this is 780 by 489, 960 by 600. Just looking at the different ones. I could search for an 800 by 200, but actually I'm going to actually use Google Drawings to take one of these pictures here, which I kind of like this one. Let me look at this one closer. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So could use that. Maybe I should get something closer to the movie title. Well, let's see. So let's say I choose this one and I decide to save it. And remember, this is you want to use copyright approved materials. So actually if I go back out, I can also go back to our usage rights and do labeled for reuse and modification. And so that way I'll have some different approvals here and allow me to get the photos that I could use and modify. All right. So for the sake of this one, we're just going to pick one of these and let's use this one. And I'm going to save it. Okay, actually just going to do copy. Then I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and in my Google Drive I'm going to open up Drawings. So I'm going to go to New and then More and then Drawings. Now remember, I have to change the size because the default Google Drawing is not going to be the size that I need. So I'm going to go over to File, and then once I'm in File, I'm going to choose Page Setup, and this will change. This is where I'll change my pixels. So instead of 4:3, I'm going to change it from standard 4:3 to custom. And then inside custom, I'm going to change it to pixels. And now I'll do 800 by 200. And then I say OK. And so now the banner is ready to go. And if I paste that picture in there, actually I saved it, there it is. So it doesn't quite fit. I could stretch it. I'll do this to show you. Not going to be the best of images, but I could do that and make sure it goes all the way to the edge. Otherwise this will be just transparent behind it. Alright, so let's say that's what I'd like for my background. So I'm just going to say Google Forms banner or background. Alright, so now how do I get it off of there? So I click on File, and then I'm going to download as a PNG file. I do PNGs just because if I do have any transparent areas in the background, it works pretty well. Alright, so I'll save this to my desktop, and now I'll go back to my blank quiz and upload, and there it is. I can just drag it in there and drop it, and notice it's going to work fine because it's the right amount of pixels, and then you'll see your background change based on the photo. Now, looking at this, you're like, well, wait a second. This didn't really fit the way I wanted it to. Now it looks a little better when they view it in this view. So you can kind of see how it works. It also takes the colors in mind of your picture and uses that inside of the quiz. So that's why this top part was yellow based on all the yellow right here. And then it used a good contrasting color here to tell the difference. So that's one way you can do this inside of a Google Drawing to make the Google Form banner. The other way would just be to find or search for images. So you could search and find another image. Let's say if I wanted to choose very large images and something that's, I'll just choose this one. Down on me. Let's try that again. There we go. And of course I could save it, download it, save image as. Okay, and so that was a JPEG. So let's just see how that works here. So now instead of going to Google Drawings, I'm going to go straight back to the quiz area and go ahead and change it, and we'll see if dragging this up will do anything. Alright, so notice the photo was too big, and so now I have some options here to move around. I can make it a little bit larger. I can do this half or maybe that half. But then if you do have an area that's too big, you can always just select your area, but know also that it's really stripping it of its full photo capability there. But then again, there's another nice picture. There's another nice photo. I would use the highest quality you can. Preferably if it has that same kind of 4:1 ratio would be best. That way you would get the entire photo that you needed. But easily I was able to crop that. So that's inside of Google Forms. Let's do the same thing inside of a classroom. So let me go back to Drive here and open up Classroom. And again, if you start having a bunch of classrooms and a bunch of different forms, it's very difficult to know one from the other, even if they have titles. So having certain color schemes and things like that, lots of teachers tend to want to put those same schemes, and I think it's a great idea, so that way you can just get a quick glance and go, oh, that's that class, and they can use the same banner for their Google Classroom as they do for their form. That way, second period or something like that is always the same. Or if you're looking at things from different years, if you do some sort of thematic type stuff, then maybe one year you're the frogs, and then the next year you're doing stuff with penguins. That way you can tell which stuff you did in what year. So that would be another idea. So let's go here. Let's just go to this. Let's go to this Iberville class here. So it's just this plain background, the defaults. So if I select theme, of course I have my options to change, but if I upload photo, let's try our previous one and see how it does. So this is the one I just used in Forms, and notice it does very much the same thing. See how it fits? So I could select that theme, and notice the color changes also in my Google Classroom. I do get to see a little bit more of the picture on here. So that's one option. Let's also upload and try our previous one that we did in Google Drawings. So I'm going to bring up that Google Forms banner that we made. And it fitted in there too nicely. So that would be a good way to kind of use this idea for your classroom, is have some sort of theme, and we're easily able to take that same, either the Google drawing or the image that you wanted in there. Going back to the drawing, what's nice about the drawing also is you can start inserting your own stuff. So if you have some sort of word art or something like that, you can say like Finelli's So there we go. I got my little Finelli's class in there. Can move this up or down however I want. Change how that's going to look. Maybe I do a little transparent. Whoops, not transparent there. I wanted to do a transparent line. There we go. And if I go to my format options, a nice little drop shadow. And let's change the font a little bit here. There we go. So now it's going to be able to be viewed. Center it, use my guidelines there. And now let me go ahead and download that again. And go back to my classroom and upload the photo. And I'm just going to drag it in there, and voila, it changes again. And this time it has my name in there. Notice the color changed when I added that white back to it because of the borders. And so you can't determine, I guess, what that color is going to be because it's based on what you have in your image and what was added there. So there's a nice little way to personalize your Google Classroom banner or personalize your Google Forms banners. And again, great ideas, great tips is to make it consistent for a class or for a particular unit that you're teaching, so that way not only you can see it, but maybe your students do also. You could also copy the same banner and put like a number on it or something like that. Maybe there's a thing that they know it's like this is part 1, part 2, and so they'll see the big number at the top and they know it's different than the previous one. All right. So hopefully that was pretty fun to be able to do. I hope you guys will be able to use that next time or even tomorrow and change some stuff in for your Google Form banners and change some for your Google Classrooms. Now, another question was asked earlier about, and we did this actually last week at a school I was at. We were searching for just doing a standard advanced search and trying to find like other people who had PowerPoints out there and PDF files that they could find. And so just all in those advanced search, and somebody said, well, can I find a Google presentation or a Google slide that somebody's made? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so of course the common theme is like, do you just look up Google Slides? Well, actually the best way to do it is to go to just your regular search, and we're going to type in site : and then the actual name of Google Sites, Google Documents is docs.google.com and then backslash. You gotta switch. Thank you. All right, so I'll do it here so you can see it larger. So you do sites, docs.google.com. See if I can zoom in on here. There. And then after this, you either type in presentation or you type in spreadsheet if you're looking for a spreadsheet. If you're looking for a Google document, type in document. So all of those are in there. I'm going to keep presentation up. And then I could do my search term after it, or some people like to do their search term before. So if I'm looking up stuff on, let's see, I'm looking up on let's do an easier one, mitosis. So now what's going to happen is it's going to search the internet specifically for the site docs.google.com presentation. And so now it's going to list all of those that are actually Google Slides. And so besides the images right here, These are all Google Slides. See, docs.google. These are Google Slides that people have put out there. What you can also do is look and see, because usually it'll start reading what is on those slides, kind of like an outline form. So you can find out if something like, oh, okay, well, let's check this one out. So you click on it, and it's going to open it up as a Google slide in a view only for you. And of course, depending on the content and what you want to take from it, you can do File, Make a Copy, and there you go. You have another person's Google slide that you could use to kind of remix and make into your own, because maybe they, you found something good in the way they taught that or something, or if you like certain things that they put into the slide. So again, those steps are to go to, let me show you here. So you do File, Make a Copy. So